Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, why does she blow me off? What we're going to talk about today is what happens when you get a date with a girl and she totally flakes on you. I've got an email here from a guy who was pretty sure that the girl was into him, but she flaked anyways. And so we're going to look at some of the things he did here and see if we can figure out where he went wrong or maybe he displayed some weakness. So he says, "Hi Corey, I'm a guy who wrote you a while back why she wants to hang at your place. Everything you said was spot on." Now that was a video I did a week or two ago where this particular girl kept suggesting coming over to his place or that she wanted to go and hang at his place, but he would always arrange dates and be really dogmatic and inflexible about the way he was going with things. And so it sounds like that he finally took my advice and actually made a date with her to just come over and hang at his place. And he says, "Corey, I'm the guy you wrote about the video that you did, why she wants to hang at your place." He says, "Everything you said was spot on, and thanks for helping me understand that. I took your advice and asked her to come to my place Friday for drinks. She agreed, and I set a time for 9. Well, it took me a little longer to straighten up my place and buy drinks, so I told her to come at 9:15. She said that was fine, and I thought everything was okay. Well, 9:30 rolls around, and I get a text from her that she fell asleep. I told her that was fine and asked if she was still coming." Let's read that again. He says, "I told her that was fine and asked if she still thought I was coming." Now, a man who is successful with women and is used to women keeping dates with him, would he ever say, "Are you still going to come?" So right then and there in that moment, you expressed weakness and you expressed a doubt that she was actually going to come over and hang out with you. So you acted weak. And so then her response to that was, she said she was really tired and didn't want to get out of bed. He says, "What WTF, what the fuck," basically. It's like, well, you acted weak. And she usually stays up later, so it was a surprise to me. I was a little mad, but decided to take the high road and say, "Well, I guess I'll just have fun without you." She said, "Okay, have fun." And what you got to understand is you had already acted weak in the past, like what we talked about in the previous video, not being direct. And obviously, so this girl's, the number, because I think you said you've been out on 3 or 4 dates with her now. And so it's obvious that you've already been indecisive on the previous dates and the previous times that you've been around her. And so when you expressing basically that you were unsure whether or not she was still going to show up, communicated more weakness to her. And then it's going to cause her to doubt your masculine core and doubt that you really are a strong, confident guy and therefore a good catch and somebody she should be spending time with. And when you basically acted like a woman, you were unsure of yourself is what you communicated. When she said, "Oh, I fell asleep," you should have said, "Well, get your little ass over here so we can have a good time. I'll see you in 20 minutes, or I'll see you as soon as you get here. I'm pouring the first cocktail now, and it's ice cold, and I got some great appetizers, so I'll see you when you get here." Just leave it at that. That's what you should have communicated to her, and she probably would have come over. But when you communicate, "Well, are you still coming?" and she thought, and internally, she's kind of like, "Oh, I'm kind of tired. I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm not going to come." And then that's why she responded the way she responded, because you had already acted weak so many times up until that point. And so that's where you blew it by the way you responded to her text. And it's just one little simple statement. But it's like, what happens is when you get dumped or you get rejected or blown off like that, it's because you're establishing a pattern of weak, insecure, needy behavior that's unsure of yourself, and you're basically acting like a guy who doesn't have girls coming over to his place very often when he sends a response like that. So he says, then she offered me a counter offer, which is where I think I fucked up. He says, "I previously told her I was going to the lake with a friend the next day, and she said she would go with me tomorrow. I replied with, 'Well, I'm going to see if other people want to go since you will probably cancel again.' another statement of uncertainty and being unsure of yourself, and basically saying, hey, I think you're going to flake, and I don't trust that you're going to come see me. She has blown me off before, and I probably showed some weakness there. Well, obviously, she's established a pattern that it's okay to blow you off, and there's really no consequences. So it's not a really big deal to her, because you're basically communicating that you're not very successful with women in the way that you're responding to her. And so if you're not successful with other girls, then obviously you probably won't be very successful at having a good time and seducing her and making her happy either. That's why you're getting flaky behavior from her. He said, throughout the summer I've had several girls up to the lake with some friends without this girl because she works most Saturdays. She claims she's just another girl to me because of that. And I replied with, just because I hang out with other girls doesn't mean I'd rather not have you there. And she said, good answer. And so and when she said good answer, you're basically communicating, which is good. What you're communicating is that you're basically saying that she's special, and she's more special than other women. And women know it's not so much a bad thing. It's actually a good thing that women know that you're successful with other women. But if they get the hint or the inkling that you're just treating her like another piece of ass because you have women up there all the time, then you're basically communicating that she's not really that special and you're just trying to get laid. And if you communicate that in that particular way, then yeah, she'll flake on you. But when she said good answer, she's communicating that you're basically communicating, hey, I really think you're special, and I don't think you're just like all the other girls that I've had up there. I really like you. That's what you communicated, and that was good. He says, she's shown some jealousy about other girls, even though I haven't given her a reason to. You say to make it seem like we have options, and I never say to rub other chicks in her face. But when I say to have options, you just communicate like, hey, it's not a big deal. If a girl turns you down when you ask her out, you just say, hey, no problem. Give me a call if you want to get together some other time. I never say to rub other women in her face. Because when you communicate that, you just communicate like, oh, I don't care about you. I got plenty of other girls, and you're just any other girl. And in that moment, what you're communicating is you're not very special to me. And a woman wants to feel special. She wants to feel that you find her beautiful and more special than most girls. So he says, he basically is concerned that she thought he was a player, and she may have in some respects, but you've done so many little subtle things that are weak that you're constantly making mistakes. Plus, she's blown you off in the past, and yet you're still pursuing her. He says, we fought a little the next day, and let me stop you right there. Because men who understand women never fight, and they never argue with them. When you're fighting, because when you fight with a girl, you're acting from a place of anger. And what causes anger? Fear. Fear of loss, fear of the unknown, fear that you won't get what you want. And men who are successful with women, you never see James Bond getting upset or bitchy or butthurt when a girl doesn't show up. Because sometimes a girl will cancel on you or say she can't make it. Then you just say, hey, no problem. Give me a call if you change your mind. I'm still going to this place. I'm still going to go out and have a good time. I'd still love to see you if you feel better later. Shoot me a text. And a lot of times, after she thinks about it for a little while, she'll change her mind and she'll actually meet up with you. I had that happen to me recently. I had a girl that canceled on me. And then, because I was busy. I was busy with clients. And then, an hour later, I was still busy talking to clients, so I didn't have time to respond to her text because I'm fucking busy taking care of my business. And then I get another text basically telling me that she's going to go ahead and still meet me at the place we were going to go. And that's another reason why you don't want to respond right away to a woman's text. Because if you're busy, if you've got a busy social life, if you're busy with your business and your career, you don't have time to drop what you're doing to respond to a text. And if you're a guy that always responds to a text, you're basically a guy that's responding from a place of scarcity and that you don't get very many women. He says, we fought a little. He says, how can I fix that? Well, number one is you never argue with a woman again because you're constantly communicating weakness to this girl. That's your problem. He says, I'm going on vacation in New York and won't see her for a week. How should I handle that? She's not your girlfriend, dude. Just go about your vacation and contact her when you get back in town. He says, do I limit my texting with her to a minimum? And the few times I would text, well, what should I say? That tells me that you're constantly texting this girl back and forth. The only thing you use the phone for is setting dates. That's it. Not the chit-chat. Because you're obviously looking weak in your texts as well. How do I know that? because I look at her behavior and I look at the things that you are telling me. And so I can read between the lines, and that's what you're doing. You're doing a lot of things that are making yourself look weak, insecure, and like you're not very successful with other women. He says also, why does she blow me off for dates? Because you're acting weak. That's why. He says, I know her roommate said she just stayed in that night and we had a date, so I know she didn't just blow me off for another guy. I'd say the reason she blew you off, she was, number one, she was tired, and number two, she's done it before in the past, and yet you still keep coming back for more. So you need to cut out all the bullshit necessary texting, and when you do text her, just simply, your only reason you reach out to a girl is to make definite plans to get together. And then once you do, say, great, I'll see you then, and then get off the phone. Stop all this chit-chat back and forth because you're constantly doing things to make yourself look weak, and that's where you need to clean up your behavior. I think I've already covered pretty much where you went wrong throughout your email. So if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges, and you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, go to my website, and underneath the email sign-up box, there will be a box that will take you to the Amazon Kindle download page. Or I say there'll be a link in that box that will take you to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. And you don't have to have a Kindle device to read my book. All you have to do is download one of their free e-reader apps. So once you get to the download page on the right-hand side, there will be a button, and you click that button, and it will open up a window where you can download a e-reader app for your Android smartphone. It's totally free. Or your Android tablet, your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac, or your PC. Just download whatever app you need for your device. It takes a matter of seconds to download and install it, and then it only takes a few more seconds after that to complete the purchase of my book, and you'll be reading it in no time. And I will talk to you soon.